Hey, you guys, do you ever feel like winning with money is just kind of complicated? Because maybe you're scrolling through social media, whether it's Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, and you see hundreds of opposing views when it comes to money. And it can be really hard to figure out which advice to believe, what to go with. Maybe you're watching this right now and you're thinking, does she know what she's talking about? Can I trust her? Right? And so it's hard to narrow it all down. So today I'm sharing 5 proven ways that you can achieve financial peace and experience true freedom with your money. First up is get debt out of the equation for good. Now, for some of you, this may be old news. If you follow Ramsey at all, or you've been through FPU or do the 7 baby steps, then you know that I am a firm believer in getting out of debt. Because when you are debt-free, I have seen that work over and over again in people's lives. So whether you are struggling to pay the minimum payments every month on your credit cards, or you look at your student loans and you just keep acquiring interest and it just seems to keep growing versus going down, or maybe you're throwing hundreds of dollars away on a car loan and a payment every month while your car is going down in value. So whatever debt looks like in your life, I will tell you the number one priority you have is paying it off as quickly as possible. And once you get to a place where your only debt is your monthly mortgage payment, you're gonna feel so much freedom with your money. I mean, imagine having no credit card bills, no car loans, no student loans. None of that is in your life. So hundreds of thousands of dollars every month, instead of it leaving your paycheck, you get to keep it. And that freedom is incredible, but it won't last long if you don't do the next thing on the list, which is save up money for emergencies. So here's something that you could probably relate to. Do you feel like you've been in a spot before where you've made tons of progress financially and then you just lose it all, it seems like, on an unexpected emergency? It's like that classic 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And that seems like how life is working. And I'm telling you, if you want to avoid this feeling altogether, the second thing you need to do to find financial freedom is to save 3 to 6 months of expenses in an emergency fund. So whether it's a medical expense, a leaky roof, something happens to your car, if anything comes up, you will realize when you have money in the bank to cover it and there is a plan in place, it really does feel like more of an inconvenience than this earth-shattering event that takes you deeper and deeper in the hole. But honestly, short-term emergencies are nothing compared to the predicament that you might find yourself in if you avoid step 3, which is invest in your future. So I'm talking savings and retirement. One of the most important lessons that I've learned in preparing for the future is that you have to do it in the present, right? So I know that maybe you have felt this in small ways, like realizing that you didn't save money for Christmas and then December's here, or maybe in larger ways, like making it to the home stretch of your career and then realizing you don't have enough set aside for retirement. So if you want to avoid being stuck between a rock and a hard place later, you need to be investing right now, like really intentionally. So learning to save money for big expenses, you'll do this in sinking funds. So you're setting aside a little bit of money every single month for big purchases coming up, like Christmas, for instance. And also making sure that you're setting money aside for retirement down the road. And trust me, your future self will be so grateful that you decided to prioritize financial freedom. So you might be asking, okay, so how do I do this? Where do I start? Well, that is for item number 4 on this list, and that is to learn to use a monthly budget. So this step may seem pretty obvious to some of you, but I have found this is one a lot of people think that they can skip. And I get it. Once you master the skill of budgeting, sometimes it can feel like it's unnecessary at times. But when it comes to your money, you guys, this habit is crucial to building your dream life. Like being intentional with your paycheck, which is your budget, is so key, which is why this is the 4th thing that I put on this list, and that is to create a monthly budget. And so a monthly budget really does give you control over your money. When you look back over the year, you're gonna be able to say, okay, I know exactly where my money went because you have planned, you have detailed it out, you have documented, you have tracked transactions, you have done it all. And if you have not downloaded our app, Every Dollar, make sure to do that because it is seriously like gonna be your BFF when it comes to budgeting, walking right alongside you to be able to say, hey, this is what this budget does. This is how it works. I mean, it is a tool that is going to help you so much. So make sure to download it. But a budget ultimately means nothing if you neglect the next tip, which is use the margin you have to give to others. And it's something that a lot of people don't expect to hear when it comes to like financial tips and stuff, but you have to realize money has to play a certain role in your life. You have to keep it at this place in your life where it doesn't overwhelm you or you become obsessed with it or you think if I could just get there financially, everything's gonna be okay. Because so much about your money is who you are. And when you are generous and you actually live with an open hand, you look how to help others, and selflessness is part of your financial plan, your life is more joyful. There's a better quality to it. So I'm telling you, giving has to be a part of your overall financial picture, and it gives you such freedom because when you give, you put money in its role that it's meant to be in, where it's not an idol, it's not a thing that you're obsessed with. Again, it's this like freedom that you live with an open hand. And so this mindset shift is something that really helps nix out so much of the comparison that is out there, so much of the, we want to be grateful, but it feels like sometimes we're just stuck in this like not gratitude state, if that's a thing, right? Where it's like, oh, giving changes all of that. It does. It actually allows you to be really grateful for what you have. There's so much to be said when you are giving, and it makes all of what we're doing here worth it because money is a tool to change your life, to bless you and your family and the people you love, but also to be generous. And I will tell you, it has changed my life and the way I view money. And remember, financial freedom isn't possible until you start back at step 1 and commit to paying off debt. And I'll link a video below that walks you through exactly how to do that successfully and quickly. So make sure to send this video to a friend who is ready for 2024 to be their best financial year yet. And remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.